against Bitcoin.
It's going up forever, Warren.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, cover breaking news, culture, manic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we are living through these days. Today we're going to talk about, we talk a lot about the concept of Bitcoiners breaking the Bitcoin echo chamber. What is the Bitcoin echo chamber? The Bitcoin echo chamber is this concept that Bitcoiners and Bitcoin content creators make content for other Bitcoiners. But how do you really move the envelope? How do you really win the race to avoid the war? You have to start getting the normies, the no coiners, the non-initiated to start asking the question, what is money? Why is the money broken? Why is the money stealing from me? Right? So that being said, that's why every time you have predominant broadcasters that are popular mainstream broadcasters without a niche, they're just popular in general, right? We like to talk about that because essentially a lot of them are coming to the conclusion that the money is broken, and a lot of them are starting to mention Bitcoin by name. Just to name a few, we had Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was completely orange-pilled by Max Kaiser. He had Michael Saylor on his show. He had Naim Bukele. He had Marty Bent. We had Tim Pool, who's openly admitted he effed up not accepting that 10,000 Bitcoin from Max Kaiser way back in the day. We had Alex Jones. I wouldn't really consider him a mainstream podcaster. You know, he's a little bit, he's some of his views. You can make an argument that people feel are a little bit extreme. But yes, so that is really who's going to move the envelope, because imagine if a lot of these broadcasters, a lot of these content creators started to not only mention how F the money is, but started to actually mention the solution as well, right? I think Tucker's at that point. I think Joe Rogan is there. Jordan Peterson, also very, very popular broadcaster as well, influencer. And he had a show with Robert Breedlove. I think John Vallis joined that one of his shows as well. And they just went down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And you could tell that would plant a seed in his head. Remember, and the Bitcoin seed, once it's planted, it's not fast. It takes a couple years for you to really understand what is Bitcoin. You go through a lot of eureka moments along the way. The first time you run into Bitcoin, you come for the money, and then you stay for the revolution. But that process takes a while. Even the great Michael Saylor initially had this infamous tweet way back, at least 6 years ago, maybe longer than that, where he was saying there's no way this Bitcoin thing could work. And then he changed his mind because of NGU, and he changed his mind because the fiat system is crumbling before our eyes. And because it's crumbling before our eyes, because people are realizing the money is broken, because they realize they can't afford anything, they start to ask the question, what is money? Why does the government have the ability to just print money that the rest of us have to work for? And another very predominant broadcaster by the name of Candace Owens, she went on Tucker Carlson tonight, or Tucker Carlson on X, better said, his new show on Twitter, now known as X. And she had some things to say about Thomas Sowell. She had some things to say about money. She had things to say about the government and the relationship with money. She's basically a Bitcoiner. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed because Tucker didn't just say Bitcoin fixes this. But I'll bet you guys something. In 5 years, I think these broadcasters are not only just going to be saying, the money's broken. Oh, yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's awesome. I think they're going to be suggesting that Bitcoin is the solution. And at that point, you really have a revolution in your hands, because when people figure out that there's not only a way to opt out of the system, but the way to opt out of the system is the solution to the broken system itself. I think a lot of people, man, I can't wait for those times. I think there's that saying, it's trickle. It trickles. It at first it's just a trickle, and then it just breaks free. It just goes parabolic. Yeah, man. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on all this, brother? And you're also looking very fiat today. You're wearing I'm
not wearing a suit, guys. This
you're
is
wearing
a jacket.
Opti's leveling up.
A nice wool jacket. It's yeah, I'm usually like in pajamas and sweats. Today I have a busy day, so I don't have enough time to change after everything. So I have to look dapper for you guys. I'm not a scrub like everyone thinks I am. I like to dress well sometimes. It is what it is. What is my thoughts on this? My thoughts on this was it was absolutely great to see Candace Owens mention Thomas Sowell and pinpoint the problem that we talk about every single day. It is the money. It has always been about economics. It will always be about the economics, though I think when you guys hear this clip, you will see what Nico and I say all the time. There is no political solution for this, and I'm not very familiar with Candace Owens, but I know she is very politically bent, and so it'd be very interesting to see what her take would be, like what would be the solution of this. And I haven't seen this whole Tucker Carlson interview, but this definitely intrigued me and makes me want to go check out the rest and see if they ever touched on solutions or if it's the same old, hence why we always say here on Simply Bitcoin that most people that are aware know what the problem is, but very few people are ever talking about the solutions. And you guys know it is Simply Bitcoin. It is more people holding Bitcoin. It is more people. It is more people downloading Bitcoin wallets, taking Bitcoin into custody. This is the way. This is how we subvert the fiat system, or rather free ourselves from the yoke of the fiat system. So again, Nico, the Bitcoin message is going mainstream. It's only a matter of time until people start saying the B word, but people are talking about Bitcoin messages and Bitcoin talking points now everywhere. So, hey, I guess Bitcoiners are just early to everything, and it's only a matter of time until everyone becomes Bitcoin media.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys are killing me in the chat.
Dude, I'm reading the chat and it's just like, it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it's true. Opti's actually not going to a doctor's appointment. He's actually just getting ready for.
Yeah, I'm going on a date with Chrissy Lagarde and Janet Yellen. Actually, Janet Yellen.
Okay. All right, everybody. Let's move on. Let's move on to numbers. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. All right, guys, you could take advantage of the promo code on your screen right now. You could scan the QR code. It will take you directly to the Stamp Seed website where you can get yourself a titanium Stamp Seed phrase storage kit, so you don't have to explain to your grandchildren why you lost your generational wealth because you stored your Bitcoin seed words on paper
Nico,
not titanium.
I forgot. Before we go forward, guys, we are doing a giveaway live today in the culture. But if you want to be a part of it, get active in the chat. And I'm using a Nightbot over here, so get active in the chat. It's going to go to the chat. We're doing this live. Anyways, go, Nico.
At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 36,535 sats per dollar, 2,737. Block height 817,051. Blocks to halving 22,949. Halving estimate April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,304. Bitcoin capacity value 193 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation 1.74%. The market capitalization of Bitcoin $714 billion with the B. Bitcoin versus gold market cap 5.44%. In the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin's still a tiny little baby. Once Bitcoin reaches the market cap of gold, that would put the price of Bitcoin at roughly $500,000 to $600,000 per coin. We are still in the very beginning of this whole thing. Anyways, let's talk about Candace Owens. So Candace Owens is a very famous influencer, content creator. She is with the very successful media company, The Daily Wire. She has 4.4 million followers just on Twitter. And she has an extremely popular YouTube channel. She's also on X. She's also on Rumble. She's also on the Daily Wire, like I said. She has 2.34 million subscribers. So this is an absolute, this is a very popular person. This is a person that has a giant outreach. And she went on Tucker's show on Twitter, and she had some interesting things to say about money. Let's check it out.
Who do you read or listen to try to make sense or bounce ideas off of?
You know,
Who do you
I
trust?
have been obsessed with Thomas Sowell, and everybody knows that I am pretty much a Thomas Sowell groupie. Everything he writes, I read, and it is because he was a part of my awakening story into politics and made me focus on the economics, which is to say, block out the noise and pay attention to the
Yes.
economics. Go backwards in history to understand where we are. When has this worked? Oh, it's never worked. So they're just telling you that it's going to work into the future, and there's no evidence to support that. So I think a lot of times in this environment, it's important to almost block out the noise and to focus on the things that matter. The economic debates that people are having right now, which don't make sense. How much more debt can America be in, as you're trying to convince us that we're going to get out of it if we just commit to one more war? By the way, where is all of this money going? It's incredible to me that the government has the ability to reach into our accounts and to read every single line of what we spend down to your Zelle payments and your PayPal, and yet we just can't get an accounting for how they're spending their money. It's incredible when tech works and when tech.
So, I mean, like, she's almost there, right? It's like, yeah, like, okay, fine. You can identify the problem. I love Thomas Sowell. I think the next iteration of Thomas Sowell is not only the Bitcoin standard by Saifedean, not only the fiat standard by Saifedean, but also his latest book, The Principles of Economics. I think that's the next step to this legendary book, which I highly recommend by Thomas Sowell. And I think that this is where it's going. So I'm a little bit disappointed with Tucker for not mentioning Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is literally the solution to this. Clearly, Tucker hasn't fully been orange pilled. But again, it's a step in the right direction. We've been bringing it up to you guys multiple times, right? When people start asking the question, what is money? They don't have a good response to that. And who is Thomas Sowell? Because Thomas Sowell actually he's not a big fan of central banking. He's not a big fan of the Federal Reserve. In fact, here's an interview that he did where he was asked about ending the Federal Reserve, which is the American central bank, in case anyone doesn't know.
If we could make you dictator, would you abolish the Fed?
Yes.
You would?
Yes. I mean, for the reasons I just gave, the history. There's no, the Fed represented wonderful hopes, but we've had so many programs that represented wonderful hopes that ended in disaster. I don't doubt that someone who is sufficiently scholarly could come up with examples of where the Federal Reserve made things better. But the question is, overall, what was it supposed to do? It was supposed to not only prevent bank failures, it was supposed to prevent huge changes in the money supply, in particular, great deflations.
Right.
The greatest deflation in American history occurred under the Federal Reserve System. You know, there was a crisis in 1907. J.P. Morgan, the original J.P. Morgan, called the other bankers into a room, supposedly locked the doors, and said, "We got to do something, or we're going to all collapse." And they did something, and they didn't all collapse. But the progressives were shocked that one man could come in and take command of the situation, and especially someone who wasn't even in the government.
Right. So what would you do? You'd move us back to the gold standard, or you'd let banks issue their own currencies the way they did up through the Civil War? Say I could.
Well, they weren't doing any of those things as the time the Federal Reserve was created. We were on the gold standard though, but whether we're on or off the gold standard, that's another whole set of arguments. There's no evidence that I can see that over this vast period of time that the Federal Reserve has existed, that things on the whole have been better. The great post-World War II inflation was fed by the Federal Reserve doing exactly what they're planning to do now, namely buying up the bonds issued by the Treasury.
But what would you replace it with? How would the currency? How would the currency run?
We would replace it. We could replace it with what existed when it was created,
which was the gold standard.
Well, maybe the gold standard, but maybe not. But there's no evidence that these what would you replace it things always bother me. You know, when someone removes a cancer, what do you replace it with?
Okay.
I mean, do you guys see what I'm saying? It's like almost there. And Thomas Sowell, like Hayek, they were so before their time. They identified the issue. Hayek said the famous quote, "We must find a sly roundabout way, or else the money will always be broken." Thomas Sowell correctly identifying, we got to get rid of this. And he's like, what do we replace it with? It's like, we don't replace it with anything. So you're right. You don't replace it with anything. The free market already has money. There's money that already exists. So it's almost there. It's almost there. We're almost at the verge where the mainstream broadcasters who really are the ones who hold the influence, or really the ones that are going to be able to propel the message of Bitcoin to everybody. It's not the Bitcoin content creators, unfortunately. You already have to be orange pilled. You already have to be going down the rabbit hole for you to look up Bitcoin content. Like Natalie, like Peter, like Robert, like TFTC, Swan makes great content. Of course, BTC Sessions, right? And all the countless other, Bitcoin content creators as well. Shout out to every single one of you guys, because you guys are all fighting the good fight. So yeah, but this is, it's so there. It's so close. Opti, we were so close, bro. We were so close. We are so close, man. And once this dam breaks, and once things start connecting for a lot of these people, because they're correctly identifying the problem, but what they don't have is the solution. They see that the solution is a political one, a solution of, oh, we must vote out the opposing political party so that we can get our way. What Bitcoiners are saying is, it's not about what political party is in power. It's the fact that human beings control the monetary policy, they control the issuance, and because they control the issuance and because they control the monetary policy, it doesn't matter whether that's shitcoin developers or governments, they're going to change that monetary policy, change that issuance to benefit themselves, and that costs everybody else. What Bitcoiners understand, and it takes a little bit of humility to understand this, is that no one should have the power to change the monetary policy, and no one should have the godlike power of being able to issue money for free that another human being has to work for. That is literally slavery. And what they want, right, with the future of central banking and government and fiat money is central bank digital currencies. And that's going to allow them to not only manipulate the monetary policy, not only manipulate the issuance, but also censor at the flick of a switch. And also, they've mentioned this. There was a guy that was super giddy. I think it was a panel on the Contillionaire Conference, the World Economic Forum. He was literally like, yeah, we're going to be able to issue expiration dates. Oh, this is going to be awesome. And then you connect that with what China's already doing with the social credit system and money. And I mean, look, the writing is on the wall. You have to choose, what future do you want for you and your children? Do you want a future of Bitcoin, freedom, or do you want a future of fiat money, government money, central bank digital money, censorship, and slavery. What future do you want to live in? So we're getting close, Opti. We're getting close. I actually tweeted out to Candace this morning. I tagged her. My Twitter account is not big enough for an account with 4.4 million followers, unless it blows up. It's like these people, they have to wake up because they have such big platforms that once they understand that it's like, holy cow, this is really not about the elections. This is just about people opting out to freedom money. It's game, set, and match. It's game over. Tucker, next time, bring up Bitcoin, man. We already know you like it. All you got to do is you just had to mention it. All you had to do is mention it. Plant the seed. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm going to be kind of cynical about you tweeting at Candace Owens just because, like, Bitcoiners are so unbearable on Twitter sometimes.
I was pretty nice. No, I mean, I'm pretty nice about it, bro.
I know, but I can only imagine how many tweets she's gotten where it's just like, Bitcoin.
Look,
And at a certain point,
Saifedean just liked the tweet. Jeff Booth liked the tweet. I'm gonna pull up the tweet so you guys could see it. But like, yes, there's predominant Bitcoiners that are liking this tweet, dude. So Jeff Booth liked it.
What's it say? I remember seeing it this morning, but I forgot.
So Jeff Booth liked it. Saifedean just liked it. And I said, hey, Candace Owen, you should look into Bitcoin. Separating money from state is the only fix, right? So smash that like button on Twitter on this tweet, and hopefully we get her attention. Like I said, my Twitter account is decent, but it's not nowhere close.
There's only 5,000 views on that. I think it needs to go viral.
Nowhere close to 4.4 million, So smash that like button on that tweet. And, we have to get the attention of these. It will happen anyways. We don't have to do it. NGU technology, Bitcoin takes care of itself. But anyways, Opti, I'm going to stop my rambling. What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, I mean, Candace hit exactly on message. She's over the target, as we like to say. It is always about economics. And once you go and follow the trail of what is the economics and why are we being told this time it will work when throughout history it has never worked, and yet now it's going to suddenly work. And when you really boil things down, it's very obvious what's going on, and it's always about the money. It's always been about the money. It's always been about the control of the money and the few trying to control the many. And here we are. We have Bitcoin now, and we are in real time seeing that people are waking up to the idea that the fiat system either doesn't work or is working by design, and it's taking away the majority of people's future. And if you are actively trying to help people, then you need to point people towards the solutions, or at the very least planting the seeds of doubt into their minds of what the problem is. And then, of course, like we said in the beginning, shouts out to Thomas Sowell. If you guys have not read Thomas Sowell, if you haven't binged his videos on YouTube, you need to do that like right now. You need to do this after today's show, because Thomas Sowell has a very, very eloquent and simple way of explaining economics. And like his book's called Basic Economics, guys. Like, once you understand the basics of economics, or Austrian economics, as we like to say, you will understand how to move through the world a lot better. You will understand why the veil is breaking. You will understand why politicians and central bankers do and say what they do, is because they continue to gaslight you so that they can continue to print money. And it's just a very simple thing. The more money they print, the poorer we get, guys. So you cannot save in dollars. Most people think you can save in dollars, and hence why assets all around the world are basically becoming out of reach for the normal person. And then she also touched on a topic that's been a hot topic for us lately, financial privacy, or rather privacy in general, and the fact that these if we all treated our balance sheet like governments treat their own balance sheet, we would all be bankrupt, poor, and in complete debt. And yet, for some reason, on a federal level, it's okay, but on an individual level, it is not. And they want to know everything about you. Like, they want to know what you're doing, buying $5, sending $5 to your friend and family. And yet we can't account for trillions and trillions of dollars. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. We need to stop getting gaslit by these people. I am diving very deep on the idea of planting the seeds of illegitimacy for these people. And I think that's where we need to go. It's like, why are we listening to these people? They are illegitimate. They have no legitimacy. Their policies don't work. They're actively stealing from you. They're actively working against your best interests. And yet most people follow along because they're on TV, because they have the PhDs, because they have the authority name, and they're falling for that authority fallacy. And then the last one, actually, before I get into that one, people are in the chat are saying like, oh, she didn't say anything about Bitcoin. Yes, we know, but this is the first step. The first step is wondering what is money, what is going on with money, and incepting these ideas into people's daily lecture, like daily conversation. You need to ask yourself these questions before you ever get to the B word. And I've been saying this for a while privately, and I think on the show a lot as well. Sometimes we need to not start by saying Bitcoin, because then people have already made up their minds about Bitcoin and they think it's a Ponzi. They think it's for scamming. They think it's for criminals, because the powers that be have done a good job marketing against Bitcoin. There's a lot of fudge surrounding Bitcoin. So you plant the ideas of freedom, of inflation, of the fiat world taking from you and making you poorer, and it basically plant the ideas of what the fiat system does, how it perpetuates war, how it's basically the root problem of most of the world's problems. And then you slowly but surely, as they start to ask more and more questions, you lead them towards the Bitcoin signal, the Bitcoin standard. And I find personally that this has been the best way to do it. Don't be so unbearable at times when you talk about Bitcoin. You know, talk about these issues and then they will come to you. Remember how long it took for you to become a Bitcoiner. And, you know, when you're searching for the Bitcoin signal, you fall right down the rabbit hole. But until then, everyone's already made up their mind about Bitcoin. So you got to, you know, work with humans as they are. And the last point, I think, you know, people are saying like, oh, does Thomas Sowell talk about Bitcoin? If I remember, I think Bitcoiners have kind of been talking to him. I don't know if he's really latched on to the idea of Bitcoin. You know, Candace Owens is close. You know, Hayek was right about the roundabout way. And it just goes to show that before 2009, there was no solution to this. There was just this idea that like, oh, why are we trusting central banks? We know that they are the problem. And I mean, Sowell answered the question very clearly. They're like, what would you replace the Federal Reserve with? He's like, you don't replace cancer with more cancer. Like there wasn't a solution until Bitcoin. And now we actually have the solution. It's only been running for 15 years. So this is the part of the story where we try to educate people. We try to expose people to what we believe, what we know to be right, how this can improve their lives, because everyone is self-interested and they want to improve their lives, and people are hurting out there. Inflation's raging everywhere around the world. You know, rent's getting almost pricing people out. Groceries are getting more expensive. You know, us millennials are damn near the poorest generation ever, and the Zoomers are even poorer. And so you need to just plant these ideas so that people know, hey, there's a solution. It is called Bitcoin. And, you know, somehow holding their hand to this journey and this side of the aisle is how we win. Again, it's not left versus right. It is orange versus green. We have the solutions and we just have to be better at marketing it. And I'm saying we to everyone in the chat and myself. So don't latch on to the we word yet, but we have the solution now. It is Bitcoin. It is simply Bitcoin.
100%. It is just simply Bitcoin. It's as simple as that. Anyways, I do want to give a very special shout out to Bitcoin 2024. It's going to be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee, July 27th through the 24th. It's not going to be in Miami this year, but it is the year of the halving, Bitcoin 2024. You want to get your tickets quickly before the prices go up, because they will go up. For a GA ticket, you can get it for $349. For an industry pass, you can get it for $849. For a whale pass, you can get it for $4,749. The whale pass gives you exclusive access to the deep backstage VIP lounge. I met Tulsi Gabbard last year in the deep backstage VIP lounge, and it was awesome. Got to shake her hand. Also, the industry pass gives you access to 3 days of the conference, including industry day and also discounted hotel rates. Guys, you definitely don't want to miss the biggest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth, Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th through the 27th. Simply Bitcoin will be there, and Simply Bitcoin has a promo code for you. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get 10% off your tickets to Bitcoin 2024. All right, everybody, let's hit the news.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, everybody. Also, I made it incredibly easy for you guys. Scan the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you directly to the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet. Definitely, guys, remember, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. You want to take self-custody of your generational wealth. So guys, check this out. This is a shout out to the Human Rights Foundation. Also, we had CK who just joined them. CK was general manager for Bitcoin Magazine for many, many years. And then he joined the Human Rights Foundation, and they came up with this amazing CBDC tracker, right? And it's just so important because look at this. It's not only interactive, it gives you an idea of where, what is the current development of CBDCs all around the world. And you can click on that. You can click on the certain countries. So first of all, let's start with the Bahamas. In the Bahamas, the CBDC was launched. The CBDC model is retail. And it gets into all the details of what it is. So, but let's start off with China, right? Because I think China is really where a lot of the West is taking influence from, specifically for their, for rolling out their CBDCs. And I believe that they're trying to bring the China light model, so to speak, to the West. Anyways, so check this out. China is currently considered to be in the launch phase. Although China's CBDC is technically labeled as pilot, this use of the term is misleading. Where most countries use terms like pilot, proof of concept, or experiment to describe CBDCs tested in closed environments, the People's Bank of China uses this term to describe a CBDC that is largely open to the public in comparison. China may have the longest running CBDC research. In 2014, the People's Bank of China was working on a project called the Digital Currency Electronic Payment. And at the end of 2017, the project was expanded and major financial institutions were brought in for further research and development. In 2020, the pilot was made public in 4 Chinese cities: Shenzhen, Suzhou, Jiangnan, and Chengdu. Citizens in the 4 selected cities gained access to the CBDC through a lottery system. For example, in Shenzhen, 1.5 million in CBDC was given to 50,000 participants spent at 3,389 locations. So clearly they're rolling it out. It goes on to say the CBDC itself is used via a mobile app. The app can connect to an individual's bank account, provide QR code for transactions, and establish multiple wallets within a single account. However, individuals are restricted in terms of how much CBDC they can accumulate and spend based on how much personal information they're willing to provide. All right, so that's basically the status update for the CBDC in China. Let's move on to Europe, because that's it's a little bit more closer to home, right? In the West specifically. Let's see how the European CBDC program is moving. So here we have Spain is currently in the research phase, but it will likely shift to the pilot phase soon, according to a report by the Bank of Spain. After soliciting proposals in 2022, the Bank of Spain received 24 proposals for possible wholesale CBDC designs. In March 2023, the Bank of Spain announced that it would soon move forward with 4 of the proposed designs. However, it's presently unclear if those pilot programs have been initiated, so Spain is still recorded as being in the research phase. Additionally, it is important to note that the Bank of Spain stressed that these projects are separate from anything taking place with the European Central Bank. All right, I think we can click on the Eurozone one. The Eurozone or Euro area is in the research phase. The European Central Bank announced in October 2023 that it would push forward to the next phase of its CBDC research after the past 2 years of broad investigations. The next phase, what is being called the preparation phase, will include establishing a legal framework, selecting technology providers, and building the infrastructure. This phase will also include testing and experimentation, so the Eurozone will likely move to the pilot phase. In its October 2023 announcement, the European Central Bank repeatedly said that its CBDC, referred to as the digital euro, would be the, quote, electronic equivalent to cash. However, it's important to be clear that the CBDC would not be like cash at all. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde has said in the past that, quote, when we surveyed Europeans, the first concern that they had was privacy. Privacy is the first and foremost on their mind when we divvy up the digital euro, but there would not be complete anonymity as there is in cash. So it's finally saying the quiet part out loud. I would say it's even worse than that. And then let's end it with the United States. What's going on in the United States? So here, the Federal Reserve began its CBDC pilot with the with MIT under the name Project Hamilton. The Federal Reserve Bank of Boston announced that it would build and test a hypothetical central bank digital currency for wide-scale general purpose use. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York, under the name Project Setter, also stated an initiative to research wholesale CBDC designs. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York later announced that it too would engage in proof of concept project. Therefore, the United States is considered to be in the pilot phase. The Federal Reserve has also been unclear about its authority to issue a CBDC. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the Federal Reserve would need congressional approval to issue a CBDC, but he was careful to note that it is a different story when it comes to other forms of CBDCs. The statement is concerning because the Federal Reserve built its proposal on the idea of an intermediate CBDC, which blurs the lines between a retail and wholesale CBDC. Mind you, again, all the spin and all they say that, look, it's just a pilot program, we're not rolling it out. That doesn't stop certain states. Like, for example, in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that would basically make CBDCs in Florida illegal. You wouldn't be able to use them unless there was specific congressional approval. So I love that tracker from the Human Rights Foundation. Shout out to Alex Gladstein, shout out to CK, and shout out to the entire team for putting that together. Because look, guys, when we say Bitcoin or slavery, it's coming. The slavery system, it's coming. It's worldwide. It's a worldwide phenomenon. They're hell-bent on rolling out these central bank digital currencies that's going to give these bureaucrats, these politicians, godlike power over their populace, either to censor them for certain things that they have to say, instead of inflation, expiration dates on your money, not to mention the social credit system that's already being implemented in China, where they literally publicly shame you if you talk shit about the government. So yeah, guys, this is real. But I also, there's another thing that I've got to say. We have the best team of developers. We have the brightest minds. We have the best entrepreneurs. I don't think that governments stand a chance. Governments are not really good at anything other than really like killing people on a massive scale. So, I mean, dude, it's just crazy. You got to wake up. Like, Candace Owens, wake up. Tucker, wake up. The Human Rights Foundation, they made it easy for you guys. They made it so easy for you guys. Look, it's coming. It's coming. It's worldwide. Mostly every single country is interested in it. They're trying to launch a pilot program. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on this? It shouldn't surprise you whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, shouts out to the Human Rights Foundation. That tracker is absolutely beautiful, and just love that they are on top of it and showing that this is a coordinated effort. And remember, guys, they have to coordinate this globally or else it won't work. And it's very funny when they try to angle this as like interoperable, like, oh, everyone's going to have their own CBDC and then they're all going to be able to communicate. And it's like, nah, I don't think that's how it works. It either is all encompassing or no one's going to trust each other's CBDCs. And actually, shouts out to, I think it's Winsome in the chat. He says, don't call it CBDCs, call it CBDVs, central bank digital vouchers. I really like that. But I really like the CBDC acronym as central bank digital control, because we know that's what it is. We know that's what they wanted to do. Nico mentioned all of all the pros, you know, they will have expiration dates. It will be fully surveilled. It will be fully censorable. And this is what they want from you. It'll be surgical control of your money. And if that doesn't terrify you, I don't know what is. This just sounds like anyone doing a CBDC system sounds just like a dystopian, technocratic tyrant. And that is not the future I want to live in, hence why I am a Bitcoiner. But I'm glad that we can expose this in a simple, palatable way so that you don't have to go everywhere around the internet to try to find this information. We know this is happening globally. We know they're trying to do it in China. We know they're trying to do it in the United States. We know they're trying to do it in multiple areas around the world. And I always like to remind people when we talk about CBDCs that they tried to roll it out in Nigeria, and the Nigerian citizens absolutely ignored it. They did not adopt it. And remember, guys, this is a matter of adoption. Yes, they can force it on you. Yes, they can gaslight you, but they can't stop economics, and people inherently will understand that, oh, wait, why would I want to use their slave tokens when there is freedom options out there, aka Bitcoin? So absolutely love that they are detailing this in beautiful, beautiful website, just showing that, hey, everyone around the world is trying to do this. This is not one of those things where, oh, it might happen, though I am still kind of convinced that they just might not get it out, just because I just inherently am biased against government and centralized procedures. And I think bureaucrats are incompetent in comparison to entrepreneurs, and Bitcoin is already winning. Like, I don't think they would have rolled out a CBDC system, central bank digital control mechanism, if it wasn't for CBDC being just distributed so far and so vast around the world and having this much communication and this much media presence. I think it's them reacting to Bitcoin. And so we'll see if they can roll it out. We'll see how long it takes for them to roll this out. And in the meantime, you know, TikTok next block, Honey Badger don't care. Bitcoin is becoming adopted. Bitcoin is becoming the main financial conversation. And everyone is saying what Bitcoiners have been saying for years now. So I love that we can kind of bring the receipts constantly and now have something that we can reference. But you know, I just wish they would stop. Asking nicely, I wish you guys would stop your tyrannical, dystopian financial tools, because it's just not nice. It's just not nice. Come on, guys. Like, why are you so afraid of freedom, of humans flourishing? Like, freedom is good. Stop letting them gaslight us into believing that freedom is bad. It's absolutely insane.
100%. 100%. All right, everybody, before we move on to the culture, because we do have a very special culture segment today, because we are going to be doing a live giveaway. Opti has figured it out. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Kaboom Racks. They're the most trusted place to buy, sell, and host mining equipment. Check out their racks. You could do that by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you directly to the Kaboom Racks Telegram marketplace, where you can connect with a member of their sales team. They make purchasing their products easy and transparent, and you could also sell your Bitcoin mining ASICs with them. You could access their vast network of domestic and international customers, where you could sell your used Bitcoin mining ASIC. Anyways, guys, if you want to start your mining utopia today, check out Kaboom Racks. Kaboom Racks. All right, everybody, let's hit the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys. Well, I've been trying to do this giveaway. Actually, before we go on, before I start ranting a little bit, you guys need to comment right now because there is a time limit on this bot thing. So I'm going to give you guys some time. If you want to participate in this giveaway.
Breaking. Adam Back liked the tweet. Is now currently up to 200 likes. So you have Adam Back, you have Saifedean, and you've had Jeff Booth that have liked a tweet. Guys, give it attention. Let's go. Smash that like button on that tweet. Even though it's not a big probability, but again, guys, to break the Bitcoin echo chamber, we must get the mainstream broadcasters to talk about money. What is money? Why are we being forced to use money that steals from us? That is how we'll win.
Let's go. Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah. So I'm giving away stuff. I tried to give away stuff last week. I failed on Monday. I figured it out. Shouts out to Take the Ride. Shouts out to Nate. He hit me to this bot. It's called Nightbot. I guess this is what the Twitch streamers are using. This is what the kids are using. Anyways, Kaizen, I'll DM you. We talked with Stampseed. We can't send it out of state. So guys, preferably this is for people in the States. So if you win and you're not in the States, then we're going to have to figure it out. But the mega prize is for US residents only. That's the only way we can ship this to you guys. So I have it here, but you guys need to comment. Well, there's 43 people eligible so far. So I'll give you one more minute for you to comment in the chat and make yourself eligible to it. So as I told you, we are going to do a Stampseed giveaway. You can get this guy right here, the whole seed. I think you're even going to get a Simply Bitcoin stamped special Stampseed plate. We can give you one that's more OPSEC friendly. We can get in touch with you guys. And then we're going to give away some shirts. We got, we plug the merch all the time. We tell you guys too, if you want to help us support the show, someone's trolling us about more ads on the show. Well, help us. Support the show. Stack Sats first, support us second by buying our merch so that we can keep on air. We have a whole team out here, but we're going to give you guys, I think Wine said we're going to give 1 hoodie and 2 t-shirts. So that's 4 prizes total for you guys. And the reason we're doing this, of course, if you've been here, is because we broke 21K on our YouTube channel. It's been a great year. We've been grinding. We've been putting out the content for you guys. You guys have been supporting us. We love you guys. You guys have been hanging out in the chat with us. And we want to give back. I do my best to give back in value constantly. And here we just want to show a little love. So again, get your comment in right now. You may not be eligible for the grand prize if you are late to the chat here, but here we are.
So the YouTube chat, specifically for this. If you guys
I'll give it one more second.
Want to tune in to the giveaway, tune in to the YouTube chat. We do appreciate our Rumble audience. We love you guys on Rumble.
Doesn't work.
We love you guys on Twitter, but for this plugin specifically, it is YouTube. We don't do giveaways normally, so
we don't know how to do this. This is the first one. We will continue to do this if we figure this out.
This is a first for us. So anyway, so just to kind of recap, we are giving away, you said 1 hoodie,
a hoodie, 2 shirts, and the grand prize.
And the grand prize, which is the Stampseed kit. Okay.
So, guys, and I put this out. I told you guys to like, subscribe, share.
Also, to be eligible for the Stampseed kit, you must live in the United States. Unfortunately,
let us know.
They only ship to the United States.
Let us know in the chat if you win and you're not in the US, then we're gonna redo it for the grand prize. All right, guys. Anyways, we got 58 people eligible here, so I think 60 people. You guys will keep chatting. All right, so here we go. Wait, do we have drum roll music? Do I have drum rolls in here?
I'll put air horn. I'll put an air.
Maria Catalina Reyes, are you here in the chat? Are you here? You see it on live. You see it live. Maria,
say what's up in the chat.
Yeah, let us know in the chat
you got 10 seconds. 10, 9.
Let
8,
us know if you're in the
7,
States.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. We got to roll it again.
Okay, we're rolling it again.
We got to roll it again.
Let's see. All right, y'all sleeping on the chat.
Yes, she is in the chat. She's in the chat. She just sent a message.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
All right, she's in the chat. All right, Maria, are you on Twitter?
Yeah, there she is. She just put a heart. All right, Maria.
Someone said def a bot. All right, Maria, are you on Twitter? DM me on Twitter, Simply Bitcoin TV. If not, then we will have to figure this out. So, mega prize went to Maria. Congrats. Nico, can you write this down? Her name, Maria Catalina Reyes.
We do have the recording, brother.
Oh yeah, duh. All right, we're going again. So, we're rolling again. This is for the hoodie.
Maria, send us a message. Go to twitter.com/simplybitcointv. Send us a DM, and
if you're not there, actually, if you don't have a Twitter, email me at optimist@bitvolt.io, and we'll figure this out. Okay, next one. This is for the hoodie, guys. Phil C. Okay.
All right.
All
Phil
right.
C.
Shouts out to Phil. Let's go.
So Maria won. Maria won what exactly?
Maria won the stamp seed.
Okay. Congratulations, Maria.
Phil won.
Phil won
the hoodie.
Phil won the hoodie. Phil. So drop your message in the chat. Let us know. Let us know you're there.
Phil's definitely in here.
Hell yeah! All right, Phil. So send us a DM on.
Hopefully you're in the States, though. Are you guys in the States? Let us know if you're in the States, or we have to redo this again. All right, one more time. T-shirt. Paul. I don't know which Paul, but
Paul. All right, Paul.
Oh, look, the Nightbot. It says it for me. Let's go, Paul.
Let us know you're there. Let us know
Paul's
you're there,
in here.
my friend.
Yes, Paul, you're in the States. Hopefully,
UK Bitcoin. There we go. Paul has just confirmed he's in the chat.
And the last giveaway for another Simply Bitcoin T-shirt is for Elaine. Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
All right. So Elaine, please let us know you're in the chat.
All right. Sweet. So Phil, you get. Wait. What do you? Phil gets the hoodie. All right. Paul. Hopefully you're in the States. You get a T-shirt. Elaine, you get a T-shirt. Maria, awesome. All right, Maria's in the States. Okay, guys. So hopefully you guys are on Twitter. All 4 of you guys DM me.
DM us on
Simply
Twitter.
Bitcoin TV.
DM us on Twitter. You send us a DM on Simply Bitcoin TV, and we will make sure to ship out all the grand prizes. Elaine is here. Congratulations, Elaine. Congratulations to everybody. We will be doing this more often.
Yeah, now that I know how to do it.
So we have a, we have a plugin. We have everything's ready. So yeah, man. But
wait. Nightbot is a scam.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
right,
guys, keep tuning into the show. We will be giving away more giveaways. We appreciate you all. We would not be here without you.
100%.
So we appreciate you guys' support, you guys' love, you guys watching us on YouTube, on Rumble, on Twitter. We appreciate all of you guys. We really, really do.
And hold on, before we go on, Nico, to everyone that tunes in later, I apologize. I have yet to figure out how to get you guys a giveaway, but this is just more incentive for you guys to try to make it to the live chat. Shouts out to everyone in our Telegram group. Shouts out to everyone that follows us on Twitter. And, of course, shouts out to you guys in the YouTube chat. You guys are the real MVPs. So get in touch with me at Simply Bitcoin TV. We got Maria, Phil, Paul, what was the last? Elaine. I'll be looking for your guys' DMs. We will get in touch.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you guys are all on Twitter. Hopefully Maria's on Twitter. I'm pretty sure everyone else is on Twitter.
Absolutely. So just send us a DM, guys. We can connect. We'll send you guys out.
Wait, one more time. Cetras, I did a live chat giveaway, and one of your trolls in the fellow trolls in the chat ruined it. So I'm not going to do that again until I figure out how to do that.
Yeah, but we will give away sats. And shout out to Daff, because Daff, every couple of Saturdays, he does a live sat giveaway. So we have given
him on Twitter, guys.
We gotta follow. You gotta follow Daff. We will retweet Daff's thing, and he'll send you some sats. So yeah, we like to give back every once in a while, guys. We are going to be ending the show early. Opti.
Oh yeah, I gotta run.
Opti.
Hey, go watch me on UK Bitcoin Masters. I'm going live in 7 minutes.
Opti's increasing his level of influence one step at a time.
Shut up.
But we are going to be ending the show early. We'll do
no meme review. I'll do a bigger one tomorrow.
We'll do a large extended edition meme review on tomorrow's episode. But guys, we love you all. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, smash the like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help the Bitcoin movement is share Bitcoin content. Get the message out there. We love you all, guys, and we will see you on tomorrow's episode. Take care, everybody.